Hello everybody. Today I would like to discuss an important concept in chemistry. So what are we talking today about? We are talking about chemistry. In chemistry or science, there's a very important concept that everybody needs to understand it fundamentally. So I'm talking very broad so that everyone can understand what I am exactly teaching. So there's a thing called material. So everything, this pen, this paper, everything is called is matter or material. And every material in this world is created by composes of atoms. What is atoms? So an important word to learn is atom. So atoms is the plural. Atoms, and then probably you have heard of ion and then molecule. Today we're going to explore those three, which is ion. What is ion? What is molecule? Okay, three words that we have to understand. What are they? Atoms. So firstly, we'll touch bases on atoms. Atoms. Every single thing in this world has been created um, by composes of atom. It's the default state. It has a nucleus. What is it? It has a nucleus in atom, and then atom composes of um, proton plus neutron. Neutrons. What is proton and neutron? This is the nuclei. This is the nuclei. What is nuclei? Nuclei, I'll explain in a bit. And uh, so, if I'm to draw this, I have to draw it this way. If this is nuclei, this is proton and then neutron. And then proton surrounded by, and then again neutron. Proton and neutron. What this is nuclei. What is it surrounded by? It is surrounded by electrons. Surrounded by electron, E negative, and it is orbiting around it. This is electron. So nuclei that consist of proton and neutron is here, and it is being surrounded by electrons. This is very, very important to understand. So, for example, the the protons is the number of protons should be equal to the number of electrons. So positive and negative charges. Positive and negative charges cancel out each other in the atom as it is neutral overall. All of this, it should be neutral. What it is all neutral. What does neutral mean? Neutral mean that there is no charges at the end of the day. That is neutral. Neither the force from the negative is more nor the force from the positive. It's just neutral. It cancels. So that's called atom. I hope you understand that. Moving on, for example, for this one, for atom, not moving on. Another example for atom. Can you name a couple of atoms? One of the atoms I can name is lithium. Li, lithium. Lithium is an atom. all the periodic table, all of the elements there, they are atoms. So if I'm to draw that, if I'm to draw lithium, so let me draw with two colors, Li. That is what? That's nuclei. And what is around nuclei? There is electrons. There's this electrons. For example, one electron here, another electron here, and one electron here. So it's all orbiting around nuclei. This is nuclei, and this is electrons orbiting around nuclei. So this is an atom. What about ion? Ion. Ion is the same nucleus, but electron count has changed. Electron count has changed. An atom becomes an ion when it loses or gains electron. An, an atom, this is an atom, it becomes an ion. An atom becomes an ion, and I'll write it down. An atom becomes. So an atom becomes an ion when it loses or gains. When it loses or gains, loses or gains electron. If it loses and gains electron, it becomes an ion, for example. So if I'm to change this lithium atom to an ion, how it's going to look like? I would say the nuclei remains. So let me draw Li here. And then this is the orbiting shell, an electron here, an electron here, another outer shell here, but it has lost an electron. So this electron is gone. So what happens when an electron? Electron is negatively charged, all right? Electron is negatively charged. So when it loses one electron, it becomes a positive charge. A positive charge. It becomes a positively charged. So that's why we're writing the formula of this ion, because it's no more an atom. It has become an ion, Li positive. So it is an ion, Li positive, and the charge is plus. So if I'm to write this, I'll be writing what? 3 proton. I can write it this way. 3 proton. 3 proton plus 4 neutron and 2 electron. And the charge is positive. While this one, if I have to write it for an atom, it would be 3 proton plus 4 neutron and 3 electron. And the charge was what? Neutral. Yeah, it was neutral. This, that's how an atom becomes an ion. How? When it loses or gains. When it loses or gains an electron. So electrons are orbiting around the nuclei, and you can lose or gain. So if they lose it, what happens? The charge becomes positive because the number of proton increases. So it becomes positive, and then the charge will be um, positive because the number of proton is more. That's one. Another concept another word that we have all heard about is molecule. Molecule. What is molecule actually? Molecule, it is a completely different kind of grouping. It's two or more atoms joined. So what is molecule? Two, it is two or more molecule atoms joined. It's two or more atoms joined together. Yeah, two or more atoms when they are joined together, it forms, what does it form? It forms a molecule. One of the examples of that is, let me draw for you. If this is the nuclei, one nuclei, so we said two atoms, so let me draw two atoms here. Yeah, so this one, H, this is nuclei. What are they sharing? They're sharing two electrons. They're sharing two electrons. This is water molecule. So water that we drink, it is formed of this molecule, two atoms. Two atoms coming together forms a molecule. So this is molecule of H2. Two nuclei. If I'm to say that what is it composed of, it is composed of two nuclei. Sorry, nuclei. One nuclei, two nuclei. Shares, what does it do? It shares two electrons. So to wrap up, we understood there's everything in this, every matter composes of atom, and that atom composes of a nuclei and orbiting electrons, right? So this nuclei has proton and neutron. Proton and neutron in the nuclei, and there's electrons with negatively charged orbiting. That is what atom it is. And if it loses the electrons, it becomes an ion, either positively or negative. It can be a positive ion or negative. And then what happened is, actually positive ion is called cation, and negatively charged is anion, but we'll discuss that later. So an atom, if it loses electron, or it becomes an ion. And what about molecule? So molecule is if two atoms or more joins each other. If two or more electrons, two or more atoms joins each other. They're sharing electron. This is one molecule, H2. And correction, this is not water. This is a hydrogen. It is hydrogen. I apologize. I mentioned water. It is not water. It is hydrogen. So a hydrogen atom and two hydrogen atoms are sharing electron with each other. One hydrogen atom, two hydrogen atoms sharing electrons with each other and forming one molecule of hydrogen. It's hydrogen. Let me know if you have any question. Thank you.